Ladies and gentlemen, Six Fig Stock Trader here from YouTube, and in today's video, folks, we are going to be talking about Nervos Network, CKB. But before we do, check me out on Twitter. This is where I'm dropping links to live streams, upcoming videos, charts when I cannot make it to YouTube to drop you guys a video. So I'm very active on Twitter. It's the best place to get a hold of me. Now, what in the world has been going on with CKB, folks? I did intend to drop a video on CKB yesterday. I sat down, I recorded one, but then I realized my microphone was turned off. So it was just basically a silent video of me doing this for a good 8 minutes. And I just didn't have the time to re-record. So with that said, CKB is still looking good. I know, folks, the market's been down, and I know you're tired of hearing me say this, but we can see that CKB is still well in this uptrend. And we know this because we can see these lows continue to get higher. And this is exactly what we want to see with CKB and the market. So we are sitting pretty for the most part. Now, I do think that there is a chance that we may see a corrective wave to the downside. And if it happens, it's okay, because we've got the room to give. We've got the slack to come back down sub 2 cents if needed. And it's just depending on what Bitcoin does. And we will get into Bitcoin here in just a second as well. And that's going to be very important to really stick around for that little quick snippet that I do on Bitcoin. So let's look at a super high level of CKB right now. We can see that we had a nice little run up, and we can see that there might be possibly an ABC corrective wave that did happen. Now we are seeing price action kind of rebound since mid-December, and we are seeing a new resistance level at about 2.5 cents. And this is really not a surprise to anybody. So let's just go ahead there and throw up our trend line. Now, I want to just say that there may be, in fact, a little ascending triangle forming here if CKB turns around at this point. So I do think that right now, there is really no indications saying, hey, there's a symmetrical triangle squeezing. We're going to continue this trend to the downside. But we've come right down to this trend line, and we can see that we are starting to get some spinning tops. Half hour left on this 4-hour candle. So this is indicating that there might be a shift in momentum, which would be wonderful to see. Real thin Ichimoku cloud above it, which is always a great thing. So here we are in a position on the 4-hour chart to bounce off the 200 moving average and possibly the 50 moving average at the same time. And if we can get price action to really come up through the 50 and cross through this Ichimoku cloud, I do think that we are going to be in for a nice treat of an ascending triangle or something like this. I do think CKB could be really testing the waters to go higher. Now, we do have a very nice cup and handle that is formed as well. So let's just take a peek at that. And a lot of times you will see the handle of a cup and handle incorporate itself into some sort of symmetrical triangle or ascending triangle. This is something that is good to see. So with that said, I think that in the short term, the next day or two, we may see CKB trading anywhere from 0.022-ish all the way up to about 0.024, maybe wick up to 0.0247-ish, somewhere in there. And if we do start to see that kind of behavior with CKB, we'll know that we are on the up and up, in my opinion. So the longer we can go ahead and just trade sideways while the rest of the market's going down, the better. Now, if we do break this foothold in this ascending triangle that could be forming, this would be a bad thing because that quashes our cup and handle. Consequently, I do think that we would basically just see one big giant corrective wave to the downside to maybe 0.017, 0.018, somewhere in there. Wouldn't surprise me to see CKB run down to the 786, which would be, yeah, right around the 0.019-ish region. So we have that cooking. So just be prepared for that if that happens. Let's take a quick peek at Bitcoin, folks. That's Voyager. Voyager is looking good as well. We'll do another video on that later. But Bitcoin, this is the Bitcoin dominance. Let's find Bitcoin here, folks. So Bitcoin, I've been kind of tracking with the box, the GAN box, and you can see how Bitcoin is really kind of approaching this little cross section here. January 9th, 10 p.m. Central Time. Pay attention to that date. It might be the day we see Bitcoin kind of come down here to this 45.7-ish level, and we might see it start to try this trend line to the upside with some interference right around the $49,000 level. If we can break through that, you can kind of see where we might hit some other points. But Bitcoin is either going to do this, or we are going to start following this route down to around the $39,600 level. I am thinking that Bitcoin is going to take this little leg upwards simply because we have a very concrete base since early December right at this $45,700-ish line. And if you guys look very carefully, we do have what is called a descending triangle. And I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of this box here. And with that said, right at this pivot point here is where we will likely see price action on Bitcoin start to move. So my bets are on January 9th that we will see Bitcoin do something. So that is my prediction with Bitcoin. If we do scoot to the upside, I think 53,000, 56,000 are going to be good price targets to hit. Maybe even up to this $57,000, $58,000 level. Reclaim some of this territory up here. I would like to see that done in an Elliott wave fashion move. But if this thing does go south and the bottom of this descending triangle falls off for whatever reason, I do think that we could definitely expect these $40,000s, $39,000 Bitcoins, which we saw back in late September. So that was not fun around that time. But I do think for the most part, if Bitcoin can get its act together and we can avoid the head and shoulders pattern that's currently on the charts, I do think that we might be getting lucky to see Bitcoin make a move like this, and we might see some new all-time highs possibly by the end of February, early March. So I hope you guys enjoyed this TA today. I hope it really kind of helps you guys know where the market is. Big shout out to all the Patreons. If you're interested in becoming a Patreon, $3 a month will get your name, YouTube channel name, or business name up on this banner. We'll see you guys all on the next video.